Hey guys, how are you? It's Dr. Cruz from Design Your Destiny with Dr. Cruz. So I wanted to share this affirmation with you. I think it's a dope affirmation. I don't usually write a lot of affirmations, but I do have like a little love affair with affirmations every once in a while, right? I understand their value. I do believe they have value, and especially when we live in a negative environment or with negative people, or even people that we love. They don't necessarily have to be negative people, but sometimes they can be negative, right? And so they or we, maybe, you as an individual, or you have like negative energy sometimes. We're human, right? We're all going to have negative energy sometimes. And it's up to us to be able to be in tune with our own body, our own physiology, our own mind, our own spirit, to be able to feel when we're being negative. And it's also important that we're able to gauge when other people are negatively affecting us, right? So sometimes we can be so accustomed to tolerating people that we live with sometimes, right? That we're not always conscious or conscientious of the fact that they're negatively affecting us. And also, sometimes, the people around you can be just fine, but the issue is inside of you. Maybe you have low self-esteem. Maybe you don't have a vision for your future. Maybe you just know you're unhappy. You don't know what to do. Maybe you're low on money. Maybe people are picking on you. Maybe you want to do something else with your life and you feel trapped. Any of these things and anything else that you can think of could benefit from a positive affirmation, because the reality of our experience is here and then it's reflected out there. Okay, so you get to control this. Even if you feel your environment is negative, maybe your environment really isn't negative. Maybe that's a perspective. Hint, hint. It is a perspective. Now, it could be very, very true that you don't want to be in that environment. It's not congruent with who you are, and so that's just fine. Don't live in denial. Don't pretend like everything's great and everything isn't great, but understand that it's a perspective. So just like you may feel like this environment is unhealthy for me, it's negative, it's, the people get on my nerves, or whatever the case may be. Maybe it's your job. Understand it's a perspective. It's your perspective. And who has power over your perspective? You do. Only you. You are the only person who has the power to change that perspective. So even if you're in a negative environment, even if you're going through a hard time, even if you hate your job, even if your life sucks, even if you're depressed, even if you're grieving from someone passing away, even if whatever the case may be, whatever it is that's not making you feel good or not making you feel happy, and not always good, because sin makes you feel good, right? Doesn't mean it's healthy for you. So if you're in a situation where you're not planted in the right soil, understand that if you changed your perspective of that situation, you would absolutely change how you feel about that situation. And affirmations can help, because affirmations, they retrain your brain to think differently, to have a different perspective. Okay? Even if it's just for a short while, just to get you through the situation. Do you understand? Even if you're going to school and you have finals and you're stressed out, you're maxed out, you're your professor is getting on your last nerve and they're not being fair, if you changed your perspective from they're not being fair to I'm going to do whatever I need to do to pass this class, then that perspective overrides the fact that they're not being fair, because now fairness becomes irrelevant. Okay? So, newsflash, if you thought life was fair, it's not. It isn't fair. Some people are born healthier. Some people are born wealthier. Some people are born wiser. Some people are born with more advantage in life. Some people are born more beautiful than other people physically. Some people are born with better personalities, more charismatic. Some people are born with genetic deformities. Some people are born with personality disorders. Some people are, you know what I mean? Life is not fair. So don't let that be part of your dialogue. Have the mindset, I'm going to create an affirmation and I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get through this situation, to get on the other side of it to the reward that I want. You have to have endurance, perseverance, be tough. Okay? All right, here's the affirmation I got for you. Today's the day that I begin the rest of my life. And I do it in full alignment with the Spirit of God, which resides inside of me. That's a very good affirmation. Today's the day that I begin the rest of my life, and I do it in full alignment with the Spirit of God, which resides inside of me. I love that affirmation. Like, I'm not a big affirmation guru, but I love that affirmation. Today is the day. Today's the day that I do what? Today's the day that I begin the rest of my life. First of all, can you analyze that for a minute? Today is the day. Listen, I don't care what you had going on yesterday. I don't care what you had going on an hour ago. If you wake up or you declare in this moment that today is the day that I begin the rest of my life, you are cutting off everything previous and everything before you. Because you're saying today is the day that I begin the rest of my life. And what that means is that you're going to do something different. And what are you going to do different? You are going to do it in full alignment with the Spirit of God, which resides inside of you. So today is the day that I begin the rest of my life, and I do it in full alignment with the Spirit of God that resides inside of me. What affirmation beats that? That's a great affirmation. Today is the day that I begin the rest of my life, and I do it in full alignment with the Spirit of God that resides inside of me. Do you see the Spirit of God that resides inside of me? If you know what God looks like, you can see God in me. And if God is in me, God is in you. Because we all come from the same Creator, whether you want to admit it or not. Okay, your Creator ain't different from my Creator. You can call it whatever you want. Words are just words. They're empty, really. You know, words are created to help human beings associate things together. You know, a name with an item, right? Like, this is a pen, right? But pen, what is pen? What does that mean? It means this. Can we call this plastic? Sure, it's plastic. This is a plastic writing utensil. Can we call God something else? Sure. Call him whatever you want. Still God. Okay? People speak Spanish. They call him Dios, Jesus, Jesucristo, Jesus Christ, God. People speak other languages. They call, let me not mess that up. People speak other languages. They call them whatever they want to call them. You can call them, a wall. I don't care. Still God. And if God resides in me, God resides in you. And if God resides in you, God can reside in me. And if God resides in us, God can reside in anyone. All we have to do is acknowledge him. Okay? And it's not so much God, but it's the power. It's the power of God, the reverence of God, the miracle of God. What implications that means, what the implications it has, that the Spirit of God resides in me. When you say this affirmation and you say, today is the day that I begin the rest of my life, and I am in full alignment. Okay, you're in full alignment. You're not confused. You don't have doubt. You're not scared. There's no fear. You are in full alignment with the Spirit of God that resides. That means planted, lives there, is one with you, resides inside of you. Please write this affirmation down and put it on your mirror, put it in your phone, tape it to your tape it to your thing in your car where the airbag comes out. You know what I'm saying? Tape it to your steering wheel where the horn is. But look at it every day. Today is the day that I begin the rest of my life. And I do it in full alignment with the Spirit of God who resides inside of me. Who resides inside of me? That resides inside of me, which resides inside of me. You use any word you want. But it resides inside of you, the Spirit of God. All right? When you got the Spirit of God inside of you, you got blessings upon blessings upon blessings. Because the power is here. The power is here. It's a lot of power. I'm Dr. Cruz from Design Your Destiny with Dr. Cruz. One more time. Today is the day that I begin the rest of my life, and I do it in full alignment with the Spirit of God that resides inside of me. Make that your daily affirmation. I love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.